Hi there. Welcome to the Financial Advantage podcast powered by the Wells Funding Group. My name is Dennis Wells, and I'm super excited to have Scott Harmeyer here with us here today. He is with Talk with Tucker Realty in the Indianapolis area. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Very good. So, hey, I enjoyed hearing your story the other day. Remind us again how it was that you got started in the real estate business.
So I'm fairly still new to the business. So I got in the business in 2022. I come from the automotive business. I spent 15 years doing that, running a large automotive group. Real simple. It was another automotive buddy of mine that joined the real estate journey before I did. And then we chatted, stayed in contact with each other. Really just you've been trying to get me to make the change. He sent me a picture of his paycheck stub one day, and then I just looked at it and I said, okay, I put my 2 weeks notice in, quit cold turkey, did everything to get my license, went to school, did the pre-licensing, to pass the test. Really only looked at one brokerage, FC Tucker, the largest brokerage in Indiana. I really didn't consider anybody else, and then kind of just been hitting the ground running since.
I love it. I love it. So I think a lot of similarities between the car industry and real estate. People might not really understand, but a lot of times you're selling the same thing that everybody else is selling, and you have to provide value for your clients. What are things that you're doing to provide value for your clients, and maybe different than some other agents?
Yeah, so I think me being a newer agent, stepping into the role of, because I had that past experience in the automotive business, that's kind of carried over to this. So I kind of piggyback off of what I've learned from them, kind of know what works. I always say own your own value, create, a basis where, you have needs and wants and train, paint a picture for the person that's in front of you and figure out what their needs and their wants are. And I told you yesterday, I've always kind of preached what's called a like, listen, believe, and trust scenario.
Yeah.
I always told when I train classes, if you can get somebody to like you, 20% of the time they might listen to you, right? And if they're listening to you, know your value, know what you're selling, know the product, and then be educated on what you're talking about, then they're probably going to believe you, right? Know
Mm-hmm.
what you're talking about. And if they're going to believe you, they're going to choose you, they're going to choose that product, and then you better develop that trust. And then at that point, you're just cultivating that relationship over many years. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And any people that you helped in the car industry, buying cars and selling cars, that have come back to you and said, "Hey, we need some help with real estate."
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of clients over the past. I've sold a few homes too. I actually get a lot of car business people that are in the industry that contact me to sell their homes as well. I've my sphere of influence is a lot of those folks. So.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I didn't ask you this before, but what is your favorite car and why?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean, I'm a big Ferrari guy. I like a Ferrari 488, obviously. But I like trucks. I'm a big truck guy. So I drive a Chevy Silverado 2500 truck. So I enjoy those. But as far as a dream car, it would be probably a Ferrari. So.
Nice. I love it. Very cool. Obviously being and having a lot of success in a little time, so that's amazing. What advice would you give to, someone coming into the business, say maybe they want to come in, or they're just a newer agent getting started?
Yeah, I think if you're a newer agent coming in with little to no experience, you're new into it. Find yourself a mentor or a team to join. Learn the business of this because you're handling, most people's most expensive asset of their life, right?
Hmm.
And they want to know the person that they're hiring, that they know what they're talking about, and they're going to get them to the finish line. partnering with somebody that's been doing it for a long time and has a track record of success, and you taking that knowledge in is crucial into this business, because I mean, mistakes can be made easily, and whatnot. I think just learning the real estate business in a whole will develop you into a good career for later down the road.
I love it. Yeah. So, what are some things that you are doing to, obviously, it's still a competitive market.
Yeah.
So, when you're working with buyers, what are some things that you are doing to help your buyers have an advantage in the market?
So I mean, I preach on to my sales background, and I get a lot of phone calls based on that. I mean, how assertive, how aggressive I am with when it comes to making offers, when it comes to showing homes, to try to get my clients the best deal, and that's kind of the track record I have that everybody's, I'd hate to go against Scott in a negotiation, a battle. But it's not about that. It's, and I always preach when it comes to the negotiating, it's not about us winning. It's about everybody winning, right?
Yeah.
That's the true keys in the negotiating. It's, the seller to feel like that, they got what they wanted. We feel like we got what we wanted, and everybody comes full circle, and then we get to the finish line together. That's the successful piece to negotiate, and that's how I try to sell myself, is doing that.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if we can work to that win-win
Yes.
resolution where, which obviously starts with what you're doing and really getting to know your clients, know what's important to them, what are must-haves and would be nice to haves, but then also working with other professional agents on the other side, to really pull out what it is that's meaningful for the seller.
Yeah, it's ultimately a team effort, from the
Yeah.
buyer's agent to the list agent, even to the sellers, the buyer, the inspector, the appraiser, the lender. It is truly a team effort. From, you know, they show you day one, and then they show you day 30. They don't show you the stuff in between that gets you there, right? I mean, and that's the crucial part of somebody that's been doing it a while. It's going to get you to the finish line, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say is the biggest challenge in real estate right now?
I think the way the market's shifting, I think interest rates had a big part to do with it. The Feds just dropped the 50 basis points. I've noticed kind of an increase in phone calls from buyer leads and Zillow. My phone's been
Hmm.
ringing off the phone with Zillow lately. Half a point discounts and all of that. I've got sellers calling me saying, "Hey, I saw let's raise the price of our home," and so I think there's a little bit of excitement there for the first time in 4 years in the real estate industry there. But I think interest rates, were having hesitant for buyers coming out. I think we had an inventory issue,
Hmm.
and then on top of the NAR lawsuit doing it, I think it discouraged a lot of newer agents coming into business and not
Hmm.
knowing, like, how is this going to work for me? How am I going to get a paycheck, and what am I going to do? I think there's a little uncertainty there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, transitioning a little bit to the, buyer's broker compensation agreement. What are you seeing with that with your clients? Is there hesitancy, or are you able to explain what it all means and ease their mind there?
Yeah. So I mean, I have yet to have anybody push back on me at it at
Okay.
all. I think it helps us as agents to solidify, having that buyer relationship, and and have it maybe getting a pre-approval before showing a home or what. I
Hmm.
think that helps solidify it. I mean, I always go into it. What do you know? What do you know about the NAR lawsuit? Right. I always ask them, what do you know prior to them, and then I kind of put my 2 cents in on what
Hmm.
really has happened, right, and what's going on. And once you explain it, and they understand it, I think the buyers, are willing to sign it. So.
Yeah, well, and you talk a lot about negotiation, which is huge because that's really a big part of why you want to have representation, because again, what do most people know about understanding contracts? Very
Yeah.
little. What do people know about negotiating with a professional negotiator? Probably very little.
Yeah.
And the investment that you make in getting professional representation, can make you money, but it can also save you a ton of money as well.
Right. No, I agree with that. I mean, before, when you go, you have, to meet a seller at their house and you do a whole listing presentation, you done probably, 3 or 4 days worth of homework, developing comps, knowing your value, what's going on. You're prepared
Yeah.
versus then you would just typically meet a buyer at the house and go show it and build some rapport with them from there. We should have that same level of presentation of what value we're going to bring to that buyer is the same that we've always done with the sellers of their home, right? I mean, and I think that's the nice thing about this new lawsuit is we weed out some of the people like, okay, this is the agent that I'm going to choose.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think that it can be a very good thing, to one, make sure that you're working with clients that you want to work with, that
Yeah,
understand that. But two, because it's going to weed out the tire kickers, I think.
yeah,
But also giving them a chance to understand. I mean, the compensation part was always there, but they didn't maybe understand exactly how that worked.
right.
And you know, like, yeah, if you're working with an agent, you're going to, if you're relying on the internet, whatever source you're looking at there, to provide you the freshest listings, you're going to be left behind
Yeah,
because agents talk. So you're going to miss out on opportunities. We already talked about the contract and negotiation, and then the other part of it is time.
yeah,
I mean, I tell people all the time, the way cars are now, I'm not sure I could really work on my car. But let's say I did,
yeah,
it would take me like 10 times as long and probably 5 times as much in money than if I went to someone who actually knew what they were doing. And that would allow me to work in my giftedness. And I think sometimes people don't understand that aspect of it as well.
yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Well, very good. So, what are your goals personally and professionally for the next 3 to 5 years?
So my goals is and it's selfishly that every time people ask this, my goal is to make sure that I want to be the top agent in in Indiana, but really I want my name up there, and I always tell folks if it's got a dollar sign attached to it, no matter where it is located in Indiana, I will go to it. I mean
Nice.
that's my mentality. I don't like telling people no. Whenever there's an opportunity in front of me, I jump onto it. It's my wife hates me because of it because I don't turn away anybody. I mean, I see an opportunity and I want it.
Yep.
And I think that's a blessing and a curse at the same time. uh,
Yeah.
but I was telling me, I mean, I will spend what I got to spend to be number one. I will do it. I mean, that's just my goal. I want to help as many people out there to get their, buying a home's American dream, right? I mean,
Yep.
owning your home, I want to help as many people as I can to get a home as they can and, felt like they've made it in this world, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
key is, if I could touch many people and if I can use my expertise to help those people, that's a benefit that I get out of it, right? And then on top of that is just, I'm helping people and then I'm rising above the ranks at the same time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I was talking with someone the other day, and they brought up the point that the average homeowner, their net worth is like 40 times that of the average renter. And just people get confused about you know interest rates or down payment amounts, or this type of loan or that type of loan. But it's really clear is just the value of being in real estate, and what that does for your net worth.
Yes. I mean, your network is your net worth, and
Yep.
and how you're perceived is how you're going to pan out in this business.
So absolutely. Um, so you're married. How long you been married?
I've been married since 2017. My wife's Amanda. I have two daughters. Just recently, I got a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old. So that's
No,
fairly fresh.
congratulations.
Thank you. So we wanted to develop and make sure we had our done everything we wanted to do, and now we have our two little girls. So they're blessings. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
See, and it's like you got used to not sleeping, working 24/7 real estate. So when the babies come, it's just no good
Yeah,
thing.
so and it was the same way in automotive. I mean, I was 6 days a week, all the way, in 45-minute drive to Fishers, Indiana. I mean, so they kind of, you're used to, me working those hours, long hours, and there's going to be busy times, like there's going to be down times, and but it's just a wave you got to ride. So
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
mhm.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you here today. Is there a question that I didn't ask you, but I should have?
No, I mean, I think you have. I mean, if I could just, give, anybody any kind of advice, just, work hard in this business. I mean, I always tell people you don't have to be the smartest person in the room, um, but you need to be that person that's going to outwork those people. If you outwork anybody, you will do great things. If you just get a work ethic and pan to it and just, outwork the person next to you, um, you will be successful in this business. So.
Yeah, 100% agree. And it's those people that take it seriously.
Yeah.
I think those that make the commitment that this is going to be my career,
Yeah.
and so I'm going to learn as much as I can. I'm going to, you know, be a consultant for my clients, but at the same time, putting in the reps, putting in the hours to, make sure that you're always on top of your game and providing the best experience for people. That's
Yes.
a game changer.
No, it truly is, and and it's we chatted about this last time. There's not enough, you know, certain kind of sales training or training in general to help folks, get a career. You got somebody that will just teach you how to fill out a contract, and when I got in there, it used to be, here's a phone book, call a bunch of people, right? So I mean, that was, I mean, I still do some of those old ways. I believe in cold calling and
Yeah,
door knocking and doing other things. I know, times have changed a little bit with social media, and and you can work those avenues, but find your niche and run with it, right? Find your
yeah.
one thing you're good at and hone in on that and build off of that, and then you just add little pockets here and there. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is a contact sport. The more people that you talk to, the more opportunities that you get. It's not about, being the lowest rate, being the lowest fee, being the whatever. It's being there for your client, providing a great experience, giving them great advice. And, I mean, obviously being competitive, but
yeah,
we're, you know, we're not charging more than others, but we provide more value.
yeah, no, I agree.
Cool. Well, Scott, thank you again so much for being with us here today. I know a lot of people would love to catch up with you, whether looking to buy or sell, or maybe even get into real estate. What's the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, get a hold of me, call me. My cell phone number is 765-618-4957. It's always in my hand, or it's always on my nightstand, so I won't miss a call. So
I love it. Scott, thank you again for being with us here. And thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast today, or the Financial Advantage. We are powered by the Wells Funding Group. We'd love it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on. And please, we'd love it if you would share this episode with friends, family, anyone that's interested in real estate or growing wealth. And we are powered by the Wells Funding Group. You can reach the team and myself at 219-230-8400. Scott, thank you again, my friend.
thanks for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.